Welcome everyone to our advocate chat about conducting peer-to-peer and third-party fundraisers. I'm Lori Hutchison, the Executive Director of the Lobular Breast Cancer Alliance. And I'm going to soon turn this session right over to Karen Ferguson, our Development Director, but I want to share some information about today's session. The presentation portion is going to be recorded, and so all of you will be muted. But we will definitely have time for questions at the end, and the Q&A portion will not be recorded. We ask that while you listen, you should go ahead and start writing your questions and putting them into the chat box throughout. And we'll read the questions from the chat, but we're a small enough group, so we may just say everyone can unmute and raise their hand or have a more casual conversation, but we'll see how that goes. And without further ado, I think I will turn it over to Karen.
Great, thank you, Lori. Hi, I know many of you, I've probably met with you. My name is Karen Ferguson, and as Lori said, I'm the Development Director for LBCA. And today we're going to be talking about conducting peer-to-peer fundraiser. So we might as well just get started. So learning objectives for today, we're going to talk a little bit, we're going to learn about what a peer-to-peer fundraiser is and what a third-party fundraiser is, because there is a little bit of a difference. Then we're going to talk about how you can conduct a peer-to-peer or a third-party fundraiser. And we're going to learn about how these fundraisers help LBCA. So what are they? So peer-to-peer and third-party fundraisers are special event fundraising activities that are held, led, managed by individuals engaging their own networks and their friends and families in raising funds for LBCA. So these are things that people do on their own with a little bit of help and guidance from us, but it's not something that the organization is sponsoring the event. And we're gonna have we have a special guest today who's gonna talk about a third-party fundraiser that she did for us. So I don't wanna get too far ahead of myself with that, but there's also another kind of fundraiser that is considered in this realm, and that is cause marketing or cause-related marketing. And we're not gonna talk about that today. It's a little bit more intense, but those are the types of things where you see where the organization is matched up with a particular, a store might be matched up with a particular cause. So those require a little bit more depth. So we're not going to talk about those today. I'm sorry. So third-party fundraisers. These are things like house parties, a golf tournament or other type of a tournament. So I've worked in organizations where we've actually had people who do the entire golf tournament on their own and raise several $1,000s for the organization. A hosted dinner, a speaker. So if you have somebody that you know that people would be interested in hearing from about, maybe about ILC, but maybe about something else, you could actually host that speaker and maybe have a dinner. Birthday, wedding, and anniversary type events. So these would be, these could be peer-to-peer, but sometimes they're not. So these would be things like, you would have somebody says, in place of favors, I'm making a gift in your honor to my wedding. So you wouldn't have favors at the wedding, but you would get an acknowledgement that a gift has been made to, you know, LBCA in your name. So there's different ways to set those up. Be happy to talk with anybody about those. And then your typical bake sale, garage sales, or other kind of sales. On the peer-to-peer side, this is where Facebook or other social media fundraisers come in. And Facebook has gotten super, super intense just in the past couple of weeks in what you can do and what they'll do. So there's a lot to learn. The thing with the Facebook fundraiser is that we want to encourage people whenever possible to give us their contact information. And some people aren't willing to do that, which is fine, but it's better if we have the donor's contact information to put into the system. And then your typical run, walks, your marathons, things like that. And then coming soon would be our online fundraisers right straight through our website, where you could actually set up a peer-to-peer and fundraiser online. Deneen, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Hi.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. So Deneen held a third-party event, a house party, on October 1st this year, and she raised over $5,000 for LBCA. Deneen was one of the very first volunteers that I met when I started with LBCA. We started having conversations, and she had this great idea. She lived on Secret Lake, which is the lake that you can see. She had a great idea that she wanted to throw a party and raise some money. So I don't want to take away her thunder, but I'm going to flip to the next screen, which has your pictures on it. And then I really want you to tell us about the challenges that you faced, anything that you can think of that would be helpful for people to know about this house party and if something that they were considering. So take it away, Deneen.
Well, thank you, Karen. Thank you, everyone. One of the biggest things that I think, it's going to be 3 years on this Friday that I had my double mastectomy. And I think right after it, I said, especially LBCA was crucial. That's how I found my oncologist at Dana-Farber. I researched them as soon as I was diagnosed because they told me the type of breast cancer. But it took 3 years for me to actually get it all together. And anyone who has gone through breast cancer knows it's in stages. But the evening on Secret Lake came about because I kind of played on the fact that it's a secret. And I think, Laurie, you might have said that too. I got some inspiration from all of the people at LBCA because it is a sneaky type of breast cancer. And I thought secrets, so I kind of played upon that. But one of the biggest things that I would tell people is there are a whole host of people that are with you along this journey. And I had family, friends, and I really looked to them. And that's how I started. I started planning for the whole night, an evening on Secret Lake. Karen, I don't know if you'd like me to talk a little bit about the process or, I mean, it was wonderful. Karen and I met pretty much weekly, especially getting up to the event. And so I would, tell her about an idea, and then she would kind of fine tune it for me. And the one thing is, I don't know if everybody can see this. I'm sorry, I don't have the slides with me, but I kind of just did a invitation to people. And it told a little bit about LBCA. And what I did is I rolled them up and I put them, especially in my neighborhood, and then other people, I put a little pink ribbon. October 1st, starts breast cancer awareness. So it was the perfect time. And that's how it started. But I did get a group of friends to come to my house. I bought pizza, salad, and we sat there and they helped me to roll the invitations. I would say we started that 3 to 4 months beforehand. Knowing what I know now, I probably would have done it earlier, just because there's so much work involved. But the more people you get, I'm kind of one of those people that says, I can do it myself. I can do it myself. And I probably should have, people have said to me, let me know what I can do. And then I've made a separate information sheet to show to businesses to get any kind of maybe a gift certificate, or I got a lot of that. I think it was a silent auction I decided upon, and the one picture you can see has a table for silent auction items. And then we were able to get a bid sheet, and it has LBCA on it. And just to give you an example, the auction item, one of them was called Raking in the Cash. And, it was fall, so we had a huge rake. One of my friends, people love to be creative, and they did a rake and they put a lot of lottery tickets on it. And that was one of the most popular. I think it went up to the bids. It started at $5. and the final bid was $105 for that. So it just shows you, you know, being really creative, and people would just, you know, bid on things. So that's that in a nutshell.
Do you,
So Janine, you
Right.
also did one minute, Lori. You also did a Facebook fundraiser at the same time. Can you talk a little bit about why you decided to do that simultaneously?
Because, you know, that's a good question, Karen. The reason was because a lot of my friends live all over the country, like many of us, and they said, oh, I really want to give something, but you know, and so I tapped into, and I'm not sure the exact, but it was over $2,000 at that. And you're able to single out all your friends, and I knew some of them that wanted to give. Another big thing that you helped with, the LBCA helped with, is a QR code. I don't know if I could talk a little bit about that. That was huge, and I will show you. I actually brought it in. I had a nice frame, and I actually framed it, and I put it on a table so people could just put up their phone to it. And that was huge too. All these little things just making it easy for people to donate. And I guess one of my biggest thing is when I went, and some of my friends went to businesses, but when I went, making it very personal really helped. And, you know, you don't have to go into everything. I didn't tell everyone my whole journey, but I did say, you know, it is something that, you know, we all are in this category. You know, today it's me, tomorrow it could be you. And I think that we have an oil company in Avon, Connecticut, and it's called Sisters Oil, and they contributed, and they give part of their proceeds goes towards breast cancer. And she didn't know all about lobular breast cancer. So that was, and they donated. So that's, you know, that's pretty much what I did.
Right. Lori, did you have a question for Janine?
yes. I was wondering, Janine, for the benefit of us who didn't get to attend this great event, if you could just describe a little bit. I know you said you have had a silent auction, but I think you had other things like food and music, and just, you know, sort of what that entailed to put that all together.
Well,
And how many people also?
oh, well, the only bad part was it was not the nicest weather. So, excuse me, that does have a factor. I mean, I would have liked to have done it in the summer, but I wasn't, you know, I wasn't organized enough at that point. But I guess there were close to 60 people in my, you know, in the yard. And, you know, especially post-COVID, I know people get nervous. So I wanted to make sure it was outside, but it was kind of a rainy day. But you're right. I also asked for donations for food, and that was another thing. I hit businesses up to donate some food, and I did that. We just had simple food, and then like we had a stromboli that was cut, and we did have a band. It was called Ruby Left Step, and they were fabulous because I do work at a college, and this was another thing, is that, you know, there's so much talent out there. People are so talented, and I had this young group, and they were so impressed. And something that I have to say, you know, I paid them, but they weren't that expensive. But one of the best things about it is one of the band members was leaving. She gave a $20 bill and put it in the cup for donations, because some people will just give cash. They just want to give cash. And, you know, she said, you know, my grandmother had breast cancer. And so, you know, it hits home to everybody. But the band was fabulous. And it was a beautiful night. I mean, just a beautiful night. But you use your resources, Lori. That was a good question. You use all the resources, people that you know that can do things. That was my that's what I found out. You know, use everybody you know, not in a bad way, but just they'll help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great. Well, thank you, Janine. I think, it was wonderful working with you while we were meeting all those Mondays to put everything together. I look forward to helping you do it again. I know we talked about another one. We'll have to see where that falls into your plans. I know you were really super grateful to have your daughter there, and she was a great help to you. So thank you to her too, and to the whole team that helped you put this together. And
Oh, thank you.
thank you for coming today and sharing with everyone. The recording will be out there, so people will be able to hear and learn more about what you did and how you did it. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
It is, and you guys were wonderful. Thank you. I can't say enough good things about everybody helping me. And, it really does take a whole bunch of people to come together. But I think the biggest thing that I could get is, like my daughter said, she gave a beautiful speech, and she said, this is for me, for everybody else who could be diagnosed, and let's do whatever we can to get rid of this awful disease.
I have a question. I'm super impressed by what you did. That's great.
Oh, thank you.
I was wondering if you got up, you just said that your daughter gave a speech. Did you also give sort of a speech or a little explanation about lobular breast cancer?
Well, sometimes I'm not the greatest public speaker, so I have to say that after my daughter spoke, I was really, kind of very humbled, and she basically said, this isn't for my mother, this is for everybody else out there. And I have to say that I wanted to do more about lobular. I did just put it into breast cancer, but I did comment on lobular breast cancer. I did say that there are different kinds of breast cancer, and a lot of people really don't know that. I think one thing I would do more of, I did have some information around. I wanted to play some of the videos. I didn't use all the resources because, it was outside, and I would do that differently. But yes, I did speak a little bit, but like by the time I got around, I was so overwhelmed with the night. I think I would have done it earlier. Like, you learn things after putting something like this together. You learn what you would do a little bit differently. And I think I would, while everybody was there in the beginning, I would have spoke, because we spoke probably 3/4 of the way into the event, and I would have done it earlier. But that's a great question.
Yeah, one of the things that we had offered, LBCA had offered to Janine, was the movie. And her original plan, she was planning to have the movie showing on a screen of some type or on a computer. The weather did not cooperate and things did not work out correctly, for that to happen. But that was definitely something that we can offer, and is great background for an event like this. So definitely. All right. Well, thank you, Janine. Thank you for being here today.
Oh.
I don't know if you're able to stick around till the very end, but if you are, that's great. And maybe people have more questions at the end that you can answer. If not, if there's questions and you have to leave, I'll get in touch with you so you can
Absolutely
answer those.
And please, anybody reach out to me. I would love to talk about it. I mean, there's a lot of little details. Like I said, I mean, just putting up lights, I know you can see from the pictures, there's just little things that I really, I love doing, because I love hosting events and things like that. But there's just a lot of things you can do to make it very special. So
Awesome.
I do have to run, but thank you everyone so much.
No,
Thank you.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
take care.
All right, great. Bye, Janine.
Bye. Thank you again.
All right, so Janine mentioned the in the upper left-hand corner, there's a picture of the QR code. She showed you the framed picture, so that's kind of what it looked like that day. We have found that having a QR code available for people to just put their phone up to, and it automatically takes you to the donation page, is super convenient. It's an easy way for people to make a gift. And it's become the way. I mean, if any of you watch the Today Show in the morning, they have QR codes for everything that they do, I swear now. So it's definitely become the popular way. So, all right. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to take you through how to actually set up a Facebook fundraiser. And we're going to do it, hopefully, if this works correctly, on my page. So that's me. Move you over here. Here we go. Fundraiser. Choose a not-for-profit. I'm sorry. So it's the fundraiser that has the little coin on it. So we're going to choose LBCA. Then you're going to go in and you're going to set a goal. So I'll set 0 of 200. Then you're going to be able to, you can edit this information. No, I'm sorry, you can't. More. This is the information that LBCA has in there.
Actually, Karen, you can edit anything. I mean, this is already here, but I think you can go in and
Yes.
edit if you go into details.
Okay. So this over here on this side, right? So go to the left-hand side, I'm sorry, and you can edit. So I'm going to put in 500 US dollars. It's going to end on December 14th. You can choose a date to end it. You can title it. These are automatically things that are filled in, but you can change these. And then why you're raising money. This is a standard. This is what's going to show up. But again, you can go in and change this stuff if you want to. And then you're simply going to click on create. That's going to bring you to this screen. And here you're going to invite your friends, you're going to share your fundraisers, and you're going to donate. So let's get started. I'm going to invite all of these. I'm just going to invite a couple. My daughter, my sister, my husband. Or you can invite all your friends. Okay, we're going to click on that. And then this, as I created this fundraiser, because this is going to be posted on your share to your timeline. You can do it to public, or you obviously you can change the where it's going. I created this fundraiser because I just edit it. There we go. So please consider making a gift. And you can write whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with. And then you can add, you know, different emojis and things like that. And you're going to post it. So that's on your timeline, and then it's going to ask you to donate. You can donate, obviously, you can donate to your own fundraiser. I would highly recommend that if you're going to set up a fundraiser, that you do donate to your own, just because when you're asking other people to donate, that's what they're going to see. So I'm not going to go through this process because I'm really not sure what that is, but that's the third step. And we're going to exit the checkout, and then you're going to, this will be your page where you can actually see, you could continue to invite friends. You can, again, change all the things over here if you want to. You can share your fundraiser again. So when you share it the first time and you invite friends, you invite your friends. If you share it on your on your page, I would recommend sharing it more than one time depending, you know, maybe in the beginning of the fundraiser, and then depending upon how long you set it up for. Most of them, I noticed, most people set them up for a month, especially if it's a birthday fundraiser or something like that. So I would just say, again, at the, you know, maybe in the middle and then towards the end of the month, you know, hey, this is the last opportunity, fundraiser closes. So you can do that multiple times right here. Then you have the link, if you want to copy this link. So you're going to copy the link. This is where, if you want to post it, say you want to send somebody an email and put the link in there to your Facebook fundraiser, you can do that, or post it on Instagram or Twitter, wherever else that you might want to connect with your friends. You can put it on LinkedIn if you're on LinkedIn. Any of the things, you just copy the link and go to that. And then really, this is where you're going to monitor who, you know, how you're doing, who's donated, how many people I've invited, how many shared it. And again, you can continue to share up here. You can invite up here. And then I'm gonna leave here. And I'm actually gonna go to LBCA. And I'm going to look for fundraisers. So there we go. They move things around regularly on here. So just so you know, we have a donate button here too, just so you know. Fundraisers. There it is. Now your fundraiser is showing up on LBCA's page. So people can go to the Lobular Breast Cancer Alliance page and they can see the fundraisers. Click on fundraisers and they can see all the fundraisers that people are doing. So I'm not going to ask for questions now. I'm going to leave this.
Erin, I just made a donation and I thought you could show people then how you can thank your donors on Facebook so that you can see that I did it.
Well, thank you, Lori. Let's go back to, let me find it.
It's really a good idea.
I'm telling you, Facebook changes where they put things on a regular basis.
So each time you see, Facebook will let you know if you've received a donation, and you can go in, you can thank your donor, you can like that they donated, you can share it again, and it just raises the visibility of your fundraiser.
So it let me know, is that what you're saying?
It should let you know, yeah, that you just received a gift.
Okay, I'm on my page and you can see where I shared it. There you go. Lori has donated. So I can like, I can thank. Same here, activity, like and thank. Is this what you were referring to, Lori?
Sometimes Facebook will just pop up. You've got all these donors and will say, oh, go up, scroll up. It says, say thanks to your, there we go. Say thanks. I think you have to click on it now.
Look on my page again.
No, where it said say thanks. I think you just have to.
Did.
Oh, did it go?
Yeah, it must have gone because it's not there.
No, there it is. Just click on say thanks. Oh, it's doing it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it'll post that, so it provides more visibility for your fundraiser.
Nice. Yes, and Facebook has a lot of new, they're rolling out a lot of new ways, new things about fundraising on Facebook. there's a lot to learn, and there's a lot of things that you can do with your Facebook fundraisers. So I'm gonna click out of this and then move on. And then if anybody has questions, we can come back into it as we move along. So I'm gonna put you guys back up here. I'm going to, okay. So that's kind of how you would set up the fundraiser. So a peer-to-peer, is the Facebook fundraiser, and the third party would be, why is that doing that? The third party is the, I'm sorry, the third party is what Deneen was doing, her house party. So how do these fundraisers help LBCA? So the more people that are doing these kinds of things, you know, Deneen talked a little bit about in hers about how she was able to tell people specifically about lobular breast cancer, and that there are specific subtypes and different types. So it helps to spread awareness about ILC to a much broader audience than just, you know, just us. It engages more people. And you know, I just read an article this morning that said that people are more willing to be engaged with and asked for support from a nonprofit now than they ever have been. And they're more trusting of non-for-profits than they are of government or anybody else out there. So I think this is a really good time to try to engage your friends, your families, your neighbors. And it increases our community when we become a much larger community, and it just broadens our perspective, and it broadens our reach to people. It certainly, these types of fundraisers augment what LBCA can raise during, you know, through its direct appeals. We really need the help of everybody that does these types of fundraisers. And then creating positive feelings and a purpose. And I think Deneen was a perfect example of the positive feelings that came from that. She really, really was so happy when she was successful in her fundraiser. And we went through some periods where she was like, I'm not sure this is going to work. But it really did. She felt like she had a purpose. The conversations that we had towards the end and after the event were amazing. So the creating the feelings and the purpose of helping is great. So there's some things that we can supply you with and what you can expect from LBCA. And these are really super depending upon the logistics, the details, and the size of your event. One of the things that Lori was going to, she has these posters and she was going to bring them to Deneen, and it never really worked out. It was a trip, but it didn't work out. But depending upon, you know, where you're located, the details and the size of your event, there's some things we can give you templates to modify, to secure your donations from your vendors for your event and things like that. That's what Deneen was talking about when she said she had something written so that she could take it to people that she was asking for donations for her silent auction. The LBCA logo for your event materials, a QR code, we talked about that. Copies of our movie and PSAs, you know, for viewing during the event. Again, we had talked about with Deneen doing that, and that was her plan. Technology didn't work out for her. That's, you know, it's something that we can offer. And then offering assistance with contacting and reaching out to the local press. We did do that. Unfortunately, they did not bite. But we did try to get the press involved with Deneen's. And we can help with naming of your event, and then answering any other questions that you might have about how to do it or what to do. Again, I think she mentioned, I met with her regularly via Zoom for weeks and months leading up to her event. So, and then what we ask of you. We do have an event proposal and agreement that we ask that you sign so that you understand. And then You're responsible for producing your own event materials, like your invitations and things like that. There are certain things that we can help with, like, you know, I'm the one who designed, you know, what she had for the QR code, and I sent that to her. And we have flyers, and we can send, you know, a copy of those, and you can have those available. But as far as like designing the invites and producing the invites and things like that, that is up to the person that's actually holding the event. We ask that any funds collected by the event should be sent to LBCA within 10 days. It's kind of so we can wrap everything up and make sure that things, you know, come in and that checks are made out to LBCA. Coming soon. We will soon, after the first of the year, so not soon, but after the first of the year, we will actually have the capability for individuals to go in through our website and set up peer-to-peer fundraisers. So these would be online fundraisers. So similar to a Facebook fundraiser, but it would be directly through the LBCA website, not through Facebook. We also are creating a special event guide that will be available for people to have, so that you have all of the details and all the things that you need in a one document, one page. It's not one page, but one document. If you would decide to go ahead and do one of these types of fundraisers. So we're looking forward to getting those after the first of the year ready, so that people have the ability to know what to expect up front. My email address is very long, but it's my name at lobularbreastcancer.org. And then if you're more inclined, be happy to take a phone call and talk to you in person. So there's my phone number as well for anybody who wants it. I know a lot of people would prefer to do the phone than email. I'm fine either way. And when I was meeting with Deneen, sometimes we met via phone, sometimes we met via Zoom, depending upon what we had to talk about and what she needed at the time. So, questions?